Pirate here, and welcome to our 2,000 subscriber Q&A special. Just ignore the footage in the background there. That's just me running around the old Ark server, doing a little bit of busy work. This is all about you, the viewer. I just put that in so you guys would have something to watch until the questions come up. So, without further ado, let's get to the questions. The first question here is by Spider Monkey Vapes. It says, by far my favorite 7 Days to Die YouTuber. Thank you. I appreciate that. Original funny content. Keep it up. Again, I appreciate that. That's very cool of you. Thank you. Q&A. What inspired you to start your gaming channel? Well, that's actually a pretty good question to start with. That's why I chose it. This is about 4 years ago. I was just starting to get into Minecraft. My son at the time was, I don't know, 11 or 12 or so, somewhere in there. And he was playing it on the Xbox. I started playing it on the Xbox, and then he started cluing me into some of the YouTube videos that were out there from people. And I decided to start watching a few of those. And I kind of got hooked on watching BOO and Generic B, and then I just kind of got into the whole Minecraft thing. I started watching those guys, but going back to Generic B and BOO, I'm thinking to myself, wow, I could do this. I could totally do this. So I got myself a cheap secondhand computer and a really, really crappy microphone. If you go back to video number 1, you will see, or hear rather, it was extremely bad. But yeah, so that was it. I just jumped in head first, basically. That is what started it all. Over the years, it's been, in December, I believe it'll be 3 years, and we've grown so much, more than I ever imagined would ever happen. And I've obviously moved away from Minecraft now, but just being able to interact with you guys. I thought I was going to do it just for the gameplay and all that, and while I do enjoy playing the games, I enjoy interacting with everybody more than anything. So that has been that's been the thing that keeps me coming back. I could have and almost did quit my YouTube channel quite a few times, but just interacting with everybody, especially since I started picking up 7 Days to Die as the channel staple, it has been amazing. The interaction with everybody has been really, really great. And Ark, you know what? The Ark, I kind of force-fed that down y'all's throats, but it's kind of picking up, and I'm really glad to see that, because it's a really great game. And once I get the upgrades to the computer, it's going to start to look a lot better too. You guys are going to really appreciate the upgrades that are coming. Trust me. Once I get this graphics upgrade, get the new graphics card and the new monitor, you're going to see a new level of Ark Survival Evolved. I don't honestly think it's going to do much for 7 Days to Die, because that's already pretty optimized on my system. But you're going to really see some great stuff on Ark, and which is also going to open the door for potentially some new games. So stay tuned for that. Next question comes to us from Thord TV. You're watching Thord TV. We hear you mention studies and a job. What are you studying, and does your job have a connection to your studies? Okay. We're going to save the study part because a few other people asked that. Okay. Does my job have a connection to my studies? No. My current job has absolutely zero to do with my studies. For those of you who are wondering, I am employed at an aerospace manufacturer. I build and calibrate, or rather assemble and calibrate fuel nozzles for jet aircraft. If you see on the back of like a well, a jet, right at the tail, there's that very small engine that just sits there, not the two main ones out at the wings, but the real small one at the tail under the rudder. That is called an APU. And what that does is that provides power to the hydraulic systems and the electrical systems. And that is what I do. I build the fuel nozzles for that particular engine. So completely nothing to do with my studies. Next question comes to us from Chris McNeil. And Chris wants to know, so we know you like disco music. What I want to know is, can the pirate get down on the dance floor? Should we expect a dancing lesson video sometime soon teaching us to dance up a fever on Saturday night? 10 years ago, possibly, yes. I actually was quite the dancer back in my day. I have developed bad knees in my old age, probably from cutting too many rugs, I'm afraid. So I don't do a lot of dancing anymore. You will not see me dancing on YouTube, I would imagine. I can almost guarantee that's never going to happen. But you never say never. You never know. You don't never know. And I said never. Thank you for the question, Chris. Next question. We're going to address the studies. Now, it was asked by both Cleo81. Obviously, it was asked by Thord TV. And I would, no offense to anybody, but I would have to say my number one fan as well, Shirley. Is what you are taking some classes at school for to learn more about the ins and outs of gaming, the technology? We'll address question number 2 in a little bit. But all of you are asking about my studies. My studies, I'm going to school to get my bachelor's degree in digital media production. And what that basically entails is anything to do with what you see on your websites. How to build that website, how to design the graphics, how to make those videos that you see. Basically, any computer-generated media. That is what I'm going for. Audio production is a big thing. I'm actually, one of the classes I'm taking right now is audio production. So I'm learning a lot about getting good audio. I mean, the school sent me a free microphone. Granted, it's a piece of junk, but I'm not using it anymore. I used it for a couple of days until my good mic showed up, and we're moving on from there. That's the way it goes. But no, that is what I'm going to school for. I am learning. Basically, I could design, once the degree is done, once all of my studies are done, I could build you a website and fill it completely with content. I kind of got into it selfishly for my YouTube channel. I thought maybe I would get some video making tips and pointers so that I can make better quality videos. And indeed I have. The quality of my videos since I started taking these classes has improved quite considerably. And it will only get better as my hardware catches up with my thought process. I have lots of ideas for the channel in my head. And as soon as I learn how to use the software that has been given to me, and my hardware in my computer can keep up with both of us, then we're going to be in a lot better shape. So, now, as for part 2 of Shirley's question, are you retired, seeing as you game every day? No, Shirley, I just never sleep. I work, well, on an average, daily, an 8-hour day. I wake up about 3 hours before I have to go to work. I can usually do a lot of either busy work. I generally do busy work. during that time. You know, I'll log on to the Ark server and farm trees and collect rocks and all that, or I'll go into 7 Days to Die and I'll do a bunch of digging, stuff like that. And then I'll go to work. I'll do my 8.5 hour day and come home. And then after I've done all that setup, then I thought about all day while I'm at work. I think about what it is I want to accomplish in that particular episode. So I pretty much have the episode kind of planned out in my head. Then I film it, then I export it, upload it to YouTube, then I go to bed. And that is my day, pretty much. Next question comes from Rai Keo. What's the most embarrassing moment you ever had with a girlfriend while growing up? You know, I've read these questions 2 weeks ago when you guys all put these down, and I still have not come up with a very good answer for this game, or for this question. Excuse me. Tasty beverage. The only thing... You got me thinking now. Probably the most embarrassing thing was I was in my bedroom with my girlfriend, and my mom walked in on me, or us. That was pretty embarrassing. we weren't naked. No, don't get your mind out the gutter, people. No, we were just very close, you know. So yeah, that's probably the most embarrassing thing I can think of. Let's see here. Prince Adderson, also a super fan, asked, how's your son doing financially? Well, he's broke. he had one job this summer, and he spent all that money on an Xbox One so he could watch Netflix. He has no games for it yet because he spent all of his money on the Xbox One. He'll get more, I'm sure. He'll con me out of games. But yeah, no, he's broke. He does not have a job now because school is in session. I told him he was not allowed to get a job unless his studies are tip-top. So, have I considered doing another series with Jick? Now, I'm guessing that you asked this before you found out that he was on our Ark server. Well, he's on our Ark server. Now, if he and I can ever get together because of our schedules, you know, we will be doing stuff. I mean, for right now, for me, it is 3:40 in the morning. Jick's fast asleep, so yeah. If we do get together, it'll probably be on weekends. The only problem with weekends is Sundays, I do my schoolwork. Saturdays, I do a lot of busy work. I record with Mavis, and I take care of family things. So I'll have to fit it in there somewhere. But yes, Jick and I do plan to do something soon. So, Peggy Bradford asks, where are you from? Peggy, I have been all over this great country of ours. But I am from Iowa. Currently, I live in Des Moines. I was born in Centerville. I grew up in Mason City. And then we moved around a lot. I spent time in Washington State, New Mexico, Texas, and here in Iowa, there have been about 7 different towns that I've lived in. So I've kind of moved all over. First question from our buddy More Input Steve, also a super fan. And the only reason I say super fan is because he comments, or they comment on just about every video. So, and I comment back, or at least I definitely try. So, what do pirates dream about? Booty? Yes, exactly, booty. Can't get enough booty. The second question by Steve. Let's see here. Where did you grow up? Well, kind of just answered that, but I spent my formative years from the age of, 4.5 until I was 13 I lived in a little town called Mason City, Iowa. I lived 3 doors away from my grandmother. It was the most amazing experience. She was from Denmark. She'd lived there till she was 18 and then immigrated, married my grandfather during World War II. I lived 3 doors down from her, and I would go over there every single day while my mom was at work, and she would just make the most amazing food, or she'd be sewing something, or she always kept herself busy. She was a housewife, but she had nothing to do other than keep herself busy. And then when we moved 3 doors down, she kind of latched onto my brother and I, and we both know how to cook. Trust me, I can cook. I don't need recipes. I can cook. I can sew. I can do pretty much anything. That woman was amazing, and she taught us everything she knew. Well, as much as she could anyway. After Mason City, from 13 until I was about 16, my mother remarried, and our stepfather moved us to Albuquerque, New Mexico. And I absolutely love that town. That is probably my favorite place in the entire world. I had so much fun living there. Moved back because my mother and stepfather got divorced, but we had a ball, or I had a ball living there. The climate was wonderful. The scenery was wonderful. And I made a lot of great friends there. So that was kind of hard to give up. But coming back to Iowa and seeing my old friends again, that was nice. Let's see here. McLaren asks, when did you get into gaming, and what were some of the early games you played? Well, as I have kind of been, it's been no secret, I am no spring chicken. I am actually 43 years old. So my first games were Pong, Pac-Man, pinball machines. I love pinball. To this day, the only thing I want is an actual pinball machine. Pinball is so awesome. And for those of you who never played it, no, computerized pinball, that's horse shit. Don't even bother. No, real pinball. Hitting those flippers, learning that timing, holding the ball on the flipper till you're just ready to smack it and send that ball right for the double score thing or whatever. Oh man, there's an art to pinball. There's an art. But as far as like console games, my neighbor, when I lived in Mason City, he had an Atari 2600, and we would play Pitfall. Pitfall was like the very first game I ever played. And then he got not Super Mario Brothers, but Mario Brothers, the original. That was a ball. But we played Pitfall for hours and hours and hours. That was probably my favorite game at the time. Oh, and he was one of the 3 people who bought E.T., and that was the most horrible game in the history of games. All right. So Tad asks, and I've been corrected, JPD is his wife and TAD is he. So Tad asks, so tell me, Joey, have you ever seen a grown man naked? Yes. And besides myself, I don't want to ever do it again. Thanks for asking. Cyber Bomber. Oh, you know what? With a name like Cyber Bomber, you need to get yourself an image. Look at that. Generic stock image. Come on, Cyber Bomber. That's a badass name. Fix your stuff, man. Come on. Fix that up. He asks, what's your favorite build? Yours and someone else's. Okay. My favorite build was my jungle island cave paradise on the first season of the Block-Centric server. You can look back in my videos, it's all in there. Block-Centric Season 1. It started off with an episode called something like big boom, or boom goes the dynamite, or something. I don't know, some crap like that. And then it ran through the rest of the entire series. I found a mountain on an island, and I hollowed the mountain out, built a giant pirate ship inside of it with all of my base stuff, and then giant tree house outside. It was amazing. I loved it. It was my favorite build of all time. Now, someone else's build, the other person's build would be Armitage Shanks, my buddy Army. Play Ark with him still to this day. He's the reason that I wanted to join the Hypermind server. He built on the Hypermind server this giant, well, he called it the Weber Grill, but it was this giant, very 60s looking James Bond villain retreat in the middle of the ocean. And it was like a fully enclosed complex where he'd have all of his farms, and everything was all under this protective dome of evil. And it was made entirely out of iron blocks, and it was just an amazing build. Watching him build that, it inspired me to step up my game, and that is my favorite build of all time. I never reached out to another, to a big YouTuber like I did to him when he was building that. I was totally talking to him on every video, and even thinking back on it now I'm gonna go rewatch those videos. You should too. And then when I joined the Hypermind server and I actually got to go over there for the first time and see it in person, the experience was just amazing. Even now I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it. It was so cool. So cool. All right, so let me run through the questions here and see if there's anybody we forgot. But I think we're just about done with it. And if I didn't get to your question, then obviously say so. Oh, and by the way, Shirley, you did not use the hashtag Q&A. Just so you know. But I took care of you. Yeah. Oh, here's a good one. My buddy Sig Corpse. Sig. I play on the Pirate Academy. Well, we're in the Pirate Academy chat. I don't play on the Pirate Academy much anymore. In fact, I haven't even logged into Minecraft since, I don't know, it's been a few months. Sig asks, Joe, why do you like beer so much? I like beer so much because it's so good. Damn tasty, that's why. And monks make it, so it's, it's good for you. Or they used to, anyway. Let's see here. Is that it for the questions? That is it for the questions. So, I want to thank all 2,000 of you wonderful, wonderful people. And for those of you who like and comment and on every single video, you are my super fans, and I love you all. You know who you are. You know who you are. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. I never thought I'd get this far, and I owe it all to you. So you guys have yourselves a wonderful day, and I will see you next time. Peace out.